You're listening to the Business Essentials Daily Summer Series, the best episodes of 2021. Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars. SoundCartel. You've heard of Catch, Eat Now and Scoop On, but do you know the brothers behind these mammoth startups and their success story and eventual sale for an extraordinary sum? From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. You've heard of Catch, Eat Now and Scoop On, but do you know the brothers behind these mammoth startups and their success story and eventual sale for an extraordinary sum? Can you imagine building several businesses from scratch, growing them and then selling them for more than $1 billion around a decade later? If only. Well, Gabby Leibovich and his brother Hezi did just that. It started with online shopping business Catch of the Day, now catch.com.au. Their other online businesses included Eat Now, Scoop On and Luxury Escapes. Eat Now merged with Menulog and was sold to British giant Just Eat for a cool $850 million. In 2020, the brothers sold Catch Group's remaining businesses to Wesfarmers for $230 million. And now they're sharing their success in their book, Catch of the Decade: How to Launch, Build and Sell a Digital Business. In fact, there's so much to cover, we'd be doing a disservice if we were to limit Gabby's journey to just one episode. And so, this is the first of 3. First question from Chris Ashmore, one that Gabby gets often. Did he ever expect Catch to be so successful?
Absolutely not. I mean, we're talking in 2004, I started selling on eBay. 2006, together with my brother, we launched Catch of the Day. And we remember very clearly at the time that our aim was to sell 60 products a day. And I remember doing the math, 60 products will pay for the rent and the 6 employees that we had on day one. And we'll be able to take a salary home that will hopefully put food on the table and allow me to send my kids to kindergarten. So the answer is absolutely not. I mean, I sit here today and I do feel like some kind of accidental entrepreneur. We were there at the right place at the right time, but we were not even aware of it, that this was the right time, most likely in history, to launch an e-commerce site.
Absolutely. Well, you put a lot of food on a lot of other families' tables from the success of the businesses. What's the secret sauce? Was it focusing on your customers' fear of missing out?
Look, the business was initially built on that, the concept of FOMO, fear of missing out. And the whole concept of Catch of the Day was placing a product on the page at midday and making sure that it's the best deal in the country and possibly the world. And that was our marketing, Chris. People talked about that product, told their friends. People always get excited when they save a few bucks on their pair of shoes or toaster, and they have to tell everyone that they know. And that worked very much in our favor, because I'm proud to say that in our first 5 or 6 years in business, we haven't spent a single cent on marketing, and our marketing was that word of mouth. It certainly worked to our advantage.
Was it fair to say that you got there at the right time, or you launched this kind of business at the right time?
Look, again, take you back to 2005-06, when you told people that you sell online. People couldn't even pronounce eBay. Is it eBay? Is it eWay? The first question that you got from anyone in the street was, is it safe to put your credit card online? I know that today it all sounds really funny, but that's how it was. In the early days, I was the buyer looking for stock. The whole business is a retail business. We had to find great deals and put them on the page. It's knocking on doors of suppliers and telling them that you want to buy some goods and sell it on your internet shop. And most of them didn't really understand what an internet shop is. A lot of people didn't even have an email at the time in 2006. And Chris, to be honest, most of the comments that we got from supply was, sorry, we only deal with people that have a bricks and mortar store. I mean, can you believe it today, as we are hopefully exiting Corona in Melbourne in Australia, and e-commerce has been front page page news, and anyone without an e-commerce store most likely would not be here in 2021. But back then, no one wanted to sell us any goods because we did not have a physical outlet to distribute the goods. So how times have changed.
Absolutely. You have a lot of different business philosophies in your time. What's the Mazal formula?
Yeah, it's interesting. We talk about that in the book. Mazal in Hebrew means luck, and it's composed of 3 different letters, M, Z, and L. Because people always talk about luck. Have you been lucky throughout the years? Is it a matter of luck? And this is the nicest explanation that we found, or I found, that explains what luck is. And the initials of Mazal in Hebrew is the M stands for location. Location meaning being at the right place or going to places. So, for example, I've always been going to exhibitions and conferences and events and lunches and dinners, meeting people, shaking hands, and that's where relationships are being built. The second letter in Mazal is Z, which stands for time in Hebrew. And time is, again, finding the right time. For example, 2020 has been an unbelievable period, or the worst period. It all depends on the timing and the type of business you had. And the third part in luck is the L stands for education. And again, I'm translating from Hebrew. What's education? Education is making sure that you become smarter every single day. And that comes from listening to daily podcasts, or reading the Financial Review, or reading TechCrunch, or spending a lot of time on LinkedIn and seeing what's happening in your industry. And it's a combination of all 3, and some people might call it gut feeling. But what's gut feeling? Gut feeling at the end of the day is 20 or 30 years of knowledge that you've accumulated in that brain of yours to be able to spot the opportunity when it goes by you. And I'm really excited to say that I believe that the next 12 months, 2021, will be the best time ever to spot an opportunity. There are so many problems that have been created during this COVID year. Digital is front and center, and all those problems need solutions. Of course, I come from e-commerce, but we've also played in other segments. Travel, will keep on being disrupted, and so will working from home, real estate, medicine, and so on. Really exciting times for entrepreneurs and for investors.
You're very optimistic.
I think I have to be as an entrepreneur. I mean, being an entrepreneur, you have to take so many risks every single day, every single year. And I'm proud to say that myself and my brother have that risk-taking gene. We love taking risks. And guess what? When you read this book, Chris, you'll find out that we failed just as many times as we succeeded. But we talk in the book about the concept of you need to kiss a lot of frogs in order to find your princess. And we're very happy to kiss a lot of frogs. And yes, we are not gamblers by nature. You'll never see me gambling at the casino, but we certainly love taking risks. On that note, Chris, risk is a trait that becomes easier with repetition. The more you take risks, the more you will want to take risks in the future. And of course, some of them need to succeed in order for you to continue and still stay positive.
Now, you were very savvy with doing PR. Can you tell me some of the things you did to court the media?
Yeah, we really think that PR and media is super important. I'll tell you a little story. It was about 2008 and the business was 2 years old. And in 2 years, we managed to gather about 50,000 emails on our database. That was our database at the time. And I'll never forget the night that we were featured on Today Tonight on a current affairs show at 6:30 p.m. at night. It was a crazy day. They actually announced that Catch sold $1 million of televisions in 1 hour. And within 24 hours, an extra 50,000 Australians joined the Catch of the Day database. So we grew overnight from 50,000 to 100,000. And the next day, 100,000 people started talking about Catch. And from then onwards, the snowball just kept becoming bigger and bigger. I'm a big lover of above-the-line marketing and PR. We actually talk in the book for about 4 or 5 pages on how to get free PR, how to talk to reporters, how to cook the story for them, because reporters are very busy and they don't have time for it. What they like to get, for example, they like to get numbers. I've always been very open in sharing, just like I am in this podcast. And we always told people how much money we've sold, how much money we're making, how many products we sold, etc. And reporters love love numbers, they love percentages, they like to see growth, they love stories of rags to riches, they love stories of success. And we were very happy to do that. But on the flip side, you also need to be available. And I'm doing a podcast with you today, and I'm doing a podcast or an interview every single day. As a matter of fact, today I'm on 4 different things. I'm doing a radio interview on the ABC, an interview for the Financial Review, and 2 podcasts. And unless you actually present yourself and become available, things are not going to happen, which takes us back to the Mazal story: location, timing, and learning. And unless you cook, you're not going to eat.
That was Catch Group co-founder and author of Catch of the Decade, Gabby Leibovich. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow at BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.